The evening air was thick with the expensive perfume and polished marble. The grand hall of the Whitmore estate glimmered under crystal chandeliers filled with the city's elite. But amidst the laughter and champagne, Malik Johnson, a young black artist with a reputation for challenging the world through his paintings, felt every eye on him, even the ones that didn't want to meet his gaze. He had been invited to display his work at the estate's private gallery event. For Malik, this was more than an opportunity, it was a challenge. He knew the whispers would follow him, the murmurs about a black artist daring to show his talent in a world that still measured worth by the color of skin. And then he saw her. Sophia Whitmore, the daughter of the city's wealthiest family, stood near a large, abstract painting. Her golden hair cascaded over her shoulders, and her blue eyes sparkled with curiosity. She wasn't just looking at the art, she was seeing the artist. When their eyes met across the crowded hall, it felt like an electric current passed through the room. Malik's pulse quickened. He had felt this before, once or twice, but never with such intensity. And for Sophia, the sensation was just as strong. But in her world, falling for a black man was dangerous. Society, family, and tradition made it forbidden. As Malik approached, whispers followed him. A few wealthy guests glanced at him sideways, their polite smiles masking the skepticism they carried. What is he doing here? Does he belong in this room? Malik ignored them. Every step brought him closer to Sophia, closer to the spark he couldn't resist. "Your paintings," Sophia began, her voice soft, almost hesitant, "they're powerful." Malik tilted his head, studying her. "Powerful because they're true," he replied, his voice steady. "They reflect what many try to hide, what many try to erase." Her eyes widened slightly. She understood. She understood the subtle pain in his brushstrokes, the way his art screamed against the walls of prejudice. For a moment, the noise of the gala faded. It was just Malik and Sophia, two people from opposite worlds, standing together in the quiet storm of forbidden attraction. But the world wasn't quiet for long. Sophia's friend Carolyn appeared suddenly, a forced smile on her face. "Sophia, come on, you don't want to be seen with him," she whispered, glancing at Malik with barely concealed disdain. Sophia's jaw tightened. "Why not?" she asked, defiant in her voice. "He's talented. He's extraordinary." Her lips pressed into a thin line. "You know your family would never approve. You know society won't accept this." Sophia's eyes returned to Malik, whose gaze remained locked with hers. "I know," she said softly, "but I also know I can't look away." As the evening continued, Malik and Sophia found themselves slipping into quiet corners, talking about everything and nothing: art, dreams, fear, and hope. The whispers around them grew louder, but they didn't care. Every word, every laugh, every shared glance drew them closer, binding their hearts in a way that neither could deny. Yet the tension was palpable. Malik noticed the subtle glares from Sophia's father, Mr. Whitmore, who stood near the gallery entrance, his face set like stone. He could feel the judgment, the unspoken warning, "Stay away." And yet, Malik and Sophia knew the pull between them was stronger than any threat. By the end of the evening, the gala was winding down. Malik prepared to leave, but Sophia stopped him. "Wait," she said, her voice trembling slightly. I don't want this night to end." Malik smiled, a mix of warmth and caution. "Neither do I," he said. "But the world outside this room, it won't be as forgiving as tonight." Sophia reached for his hand, a small, daring touch that felt like a rebellion. "Then we fight it," she whispered. Malik's heart raced.
He knew the road ahead would be dangerous. Family disapproval, societal prejudice, public scrutiny. But in that moment, none of it mattered. They had found something rare, something beautiful, something powerful, a black spark in a world that wanted to extinguish it. As they parted that night, both knew this was just the beginning. Their love, forbidden and controversial, had taken its first step, and the tension, the whispers, and the risks would only grow from here. Somewhere in the shadows, unseen eyes were watching. Whispers of disapproval were already spreading, and the fire between Malik and Sophia was igniting a storm that neither of them could control.
The morning after the gala, Eastwood seemed quieter than usual, as if the town itself was holding its breath. But for Malik Johnson, the world was louder than ever. Every whispered judgment, every sideways glance at the gallery replayed in his mind. He couldn't escape the memory of Sophia's eyes, their intensity, their warmth, but he could also not ignore the invisible walls around them, the prejudice, the family disapproval, the societal norms that whispered, "This love cannot exist." Sophia, meanwhile, walked through the halls of her elite private school, her thoughts consumed by Malik. She could still feel the touch of his hand, the way he had made her feel alive in a room full of judgment. But the whispers had begun. "Did you hear about Sophia and that artist?" one student said, voice low but sharp. "Yeah, everyone knows he's black. Her parents would never allow it," another replied, smirking. Sophia felt a shiver run down her spine. She had expected judgment, but the cruelty stung sharper than she had imagined. Her friends looked at her with a mixture of curiosity and disdain. And then came the first warning from someone she thought she could trust. "Sophia, you have to stop seeing him," her best friend Caroline whispered, voice trembling. "Your family will never forgive this. People will talk. People will hate you. And not just you, him too. He's black, Sophia. You know what that means in this town." Sophia's heart clenched. Do you really mean that?" Caroline's eyes darted around nervously. "I'm telling you the truth. You could ruin everything. Your family, your reputation, everything. And him? He could get hurt." Sophia's hands trembled. "I don't care about the whispers. I don't care about what anyone thinks. Malik, he's worth it." Meanwhile, Malik was facing his own battles. At his studio, a gallery owner who had previously praised his work suddenly criticized his latest piece. "This is nice, Malik, but maybe it's too bold for some clients. You know, people, they aren't ready for this kind of statement from a black artist." Malik's jaw tightened. "Are you saying my work is limited because of my skin?" The man's lips pressed into a thin line. "I'm just saying, think about your audience. Some things, some truths, are better left unseen." Malik felt a fire ignite inside him, the same fire that had fueled his art, his voice, his very being. "They cannot silence me. They cannot erase me. Not my work, not my love." That evening, Malik and Sophia met in a quiet park, away from the judgmental eyes of society. The streetlights cast long shadows across the empty benches, and the soft hum of the city was a distant reminder of the world waiting for them outside. Sophia approached cautiously. "They're already talking about us," she said softly. "My friends, Even my family. They're warning me. They say it's wrong." Malik took her hand, holding it as if anchoring both of them in a storm. "They don't get to decide our love. Every whisper, every judgment, every prejudice, they have no power over this," he said firmly. Sophia's eyes filled with tears. "It's not just whispers, Malik. It's the world. They'll hate us. They'll try to separate us. They'll might even hurt us." Malik's grip tightened. "Then we'll face it together. Every challenge, every threat, they can't break what we have. Not if we stand as one." The tension escalated the next day. Word of their clandestine meetings leaked. A social media post circulated with a blurred photo of Malik and Sophia together at the gallery, captioned, "Look at Sophia, with a black man. Can she really love him?" Malik's phone buzzed constantly, threats, insults, and warnings from people they didn't even know. Sophia's parents confronted her at breakfast. "This is unacceptable, Sophia. You are bringing disgrace to this family. You know what people will say about you and him. Stop this immediately, or you will regret it." Sophia's mother, quieter but no less firm, added, "We only want what's safe for you. You can't be with him. He's black. Society will never accept it." Sophia felt her heart fracture. The very people who had raised her, protected her, were now the biggest threat to her happiness. That night, Malik and Sophia sat in the park again, hidden under the darkness, holding hands and speaking in whispers. "They hate us," Sophia said, voice trembling. "Not because of anything we've done, but because of who we are." Malik kissed her forehead gently. "Then we'll be stronger than their hate. Our love, our black love, is not a crime. It's truth. And truth has a power they cannot destroy." A shadow moved nearby. Neither Malik nor Sophia noticed, but someone was watching, a figure connected to Sophia's family, waiting for the perfect moment to expose them. The stakes had risen. Danger was close, and every whispered warning from the town was no longer just background noise. It was a countdown to the storm.
The city lights shimmered against the dark night sky, casting long, eerie shadows on the quiet streets. Malik Johnson moved cautiously, glancing behind him at every turn. The whispers, the judgment, the warnings, they had grown louder. What had started as secret meetings and stolen glances was now becoming dangerously public. Sophia waited at the small, secluded garden behind the old library, her heart pounding. The place had become their sanctuary, the only space where their love could breathe free of societal chains and family oppression. But tonight there was tension in the air, thick and suffocating. Malik approached, his coat pulled tight against the evening chill. "I saw them watching us," he said quietly, his voice low but intense. "Someone followed me here tonight." Sophia's eyes widened. "Who?" "I don't know," Malik admitted, his jaw tight. "But they've been observing us for days. Every meeting, every message. Someone knows." A chill ran down Sophia's spine. The realization hit. Their love, forbidden and controversial, was no longer theirs alone. It was a spectacle to the world, a target for judgment, racism, and hatred. Earlier that day, at her father's mansion, Sophia was cornered. Mr. Whitmore's face was rigid with fury.
"You cannot do this, Sophia. Do you understand what the world will say? You, consorting with a black man, risking your reputation, your family's name, you're inviting ruin." Sophia's mother, though quieter, was equally firm. "This is not just about you. Think of your position, your friends, our family. The scrutiny you will face, people will talk, they will mock, and your life will never be the same." Sophia felt the walls closing in. She loved Malik, and yet society's prejudices, her family's hatred, and the racial divide seemed insurmountable. She knew the whispers outside the mansion walls weren't just rumors. They were weapons aimed at their hearts. That evening, Malik and Sophia finally met under the old oak tree in the garden, hidden behind the dense hedges. Malik took her hands in his eyes searching hers. "We can't hide forever. They'll expose us eventually. Someone is already watching." Sophia shook her head. "I don't care if they see us, Malik. I don't care if they hate us. I love you, and that's all that matters." Malik swallowed hard. "It matters, Sophia. It matters because the world doesn't just whisper. They act. They attack. They try to erase love like ours. You know what they'll do to me if they find me alone with you?" She pressed her forehead against his. "Then we'll face it together. Black love is not something to be ashamed of. It's truth, and it's ours." Suddenly, a rustle came from the shadows. Both froze. Malik's eyes narrowed, muscles tensed. A figure stepped forward, partially concealed by the darkness. "Miss Whitmore," a voice hissed, "your father will hear about this. Everyone will hear." Sophia pulled back sharply. Who are you?" The figure stayed in shadow, voice low and cold. "Let's just say someone who wants to make sure society remembers its place. Don't think your black love is untouchable." Malik stepped protectively in front of Sophia. "We don't care about your threats. We'll not let hate define us." The figure disappeared into the night, leaving a chilling reminder. Their love was under siege. The following day, the city woke to shocking headlines. A social media post went viral. A blurred photo of Malik and Sophia from the gala, captioned, "Whitmore heiress spotted with black artist, scandalous." Comments poured in, full of contempt, prejudice, and anger. Malik's phone buzzed non-stop. Hate messages, threats, and veiled warnings. Sophia's friends and neighbors whispered behind her back, treating her as if she had committed a crime simply by loving a black man. At work, Malik faced subtle but vicious discrimination. A gallery client demanded a private meeting with the manager, saying they would never buy art from a black artist who fraternizes with white society. Even those who had once praised his talent now questioned him, their prejudice hidden behind smiles and polite words. That evening, Malik and Sophia met again at the garden, the tension between them almost unbearable. Sophia's eyes glistened with unshed tears. "They hate us, Malik. It's not just whispers anymore. It's public hate. My family, the town, they're against us, and I don't know how much more we can take." Malik held her close, his voice steady despite the storm. "I know, but this is the cost of black love in a world that fears it. They will try to break us, to humiliate us, to erase us, but we survive, together, always." Sophia leaned into him, drawing strength from his words. In the shadows of prejudice, their forbidden love grew fiercer, more defiant. Each threat, each whisper, each act of hate only strengthened their bond. Somewhere in the distance, the city continued its judgment. oblivious to the power of the love blossoming in a hidden garden, a love that was bold, black, and unyielding.
The morning sun poured through the grand windows of the Whitmore mansion, but its warmth did little to ease the tension inside. Sophia Whitmore sat at the breakfast table, her hands clenched tightly around her teacup. The events of the past week, the whispers, the threats, the viral post, had escalated beyond her worst fears. And now there was something worse: betrayal from within her own circle. Caroline, her so-called best friend, had slipped away moments before Sophia arrived, only to return with a smug, knowing smile. "Sophia, it's out," Caroline said softly, almost teasingly. "Everyone knows about you and Malik. The photos, the whispers, your family, the school, the social media. They all know." Sophia's heart stopped. "What do you mean, everyone knows?" Caroline shrugged. "I told a few people, thought they should know. Honestly, Sophia, you can't keep this a secret forever. But now, it's public. People are talking. People are judging. People are angry." Sophia felt a wave of betrayal hit her like a physical blow. Why would you do this?" Caroline's eyes narrowed. "I warned you, Sophia. I told you the world isn't ready for your black love. I'm just helping you understand the consequences." Across town, Malik was facing his own storm. At his studio, a prominent gallery owner called him, her voice clipped and unyielding. "Malik, I've seen the posts online. Your relationship is causing controversy. Some patrons are upset. They feel uncomfortable. You might want to reconsider your choices." Malik slammed his hand against the table, anger and frustration boiling inside him. "Reconsider my choices? You mean my black love, my art? You mean the truth you can't face?" The woman paused. I just worry about your career." Malik hung up, a fire igniting in his chest. The world was trying to suffocate him, trying to erase his black identity and his love. But he wouldn't let it. Not Malik, not Sophia. That evening, Malik and Sophia met in the old garden, the place that had become their sanctuary. But the atmosphere was heavy, tense, filled with the unspoken words of betrayal. "They know," Sophia said, her voice trembling. "Caroline, she told everyone, my family, the school, even social media." Malik's jaw tightened. "Then we are under attack. The world has chosen sides and not in our favor." Sophia's eyes filled with tears. "It's like the world is conspiring against our black love. I thought I could trust people, but even those closest to me betray me." Malik pulled her into a tight embrace. "You can trust me, always. No matter what they say, no matter what they do, we have each other." The consequences of the betrayal were immediate. The viral posts spread like wildfire, attracting public scrutiny and condemnation. Sophia's father stormed into her room that night, his face pale with fury. "You've humiliated this family, Sophia. Do you understand what this means? People are mocking us. Our name, our reputation, it's ruined. And that black man, he's dangerous." Sophia's mother, usually composed, was silent, but her eyes spoke volumes: disappointment, fear, and the bitter sting of prejudice. I love him," Sophia said softly, her voice unwavering despite the tremor in her chest. "I can't stop loving him. It's black love. Malik and me. It's real. It's true. And it's not a crime." Her father's face contorted with rage. "Real? True? You think the world will accept it? You are naive. You will regret this." Meanwhile, Malik received an anonymous message that chilled him to the bone. Stop seeing her, or you will regret it. Public exposure isn't the worst that can happen. The message made Malik's fists clench. Threats, betrayal, and prejudice surrounded them on all sides, but he refused to back down. Their black love, forbidden and controversial, had already ignited a fire that no amount of hate could extinguish. That night, Malik and Sophia met one last time in the garden before deciding their next move. The shadows of betrayal, hate, and societal judgment loomed large, but they held on to each other like anchors in a storm. Every person who betrayed us, every whisper, every threat, it only makes our black love stronger, Malik said, his voice steady, resolute. They can try to tear us apart, but they cannot destroy what we have. Not now, not ever. Sophia nodded, tears streaming down her face. Then we face them all, together, even if the world is against us. As they held hands under the moonlight, the sound of footsteps in the shadows reminded them they were being watched. Someone close, someone dangerous, was ready to strike at the perfect moment. The stakes were never higher. Their black love had survived whispers, hatred, and betrayal, but the storm was only just beginning.
The city had grown colder, harsher, as if reflecting the storm that raged in Malik and Sophia's lives. Their black love, once a private sanctuary, had become a battleground. Whispers had turned into public scrutiny, betrayal into open threats, and societal prejudice had crossed into aggression. It began with a single, sharp confrontation at Malik's studio. A group of wealthy patrons who once admired his talent arrived under the guise of interest in his work. But their eyes told another story: hostility, judgment, and thinly veiled racism. "You're taking liberties that don't belong to you," one patron said, sneering. "We appreciate your art, Malik, but your personal choices, this black love, it's inappropriate for you and for her." Malik's fists clenched, but he forced calm. "I'm mistaken. My love is my choice. My life is my own. Art, love, they are not crimes, not black love, not true love." The patrons whispered among themselves, disgusted. Their smiles were sharp, their approval conditional. Malik felt the invisible line crackling between his world and theirs, society's invisible barrier drawn clearly because of the color of his skin. Meanwhile, Sophia was facing her own trial. Her father had called a family council, summoning her relatives and social acquaintances to confront the scandal. "You are destroying this family's reputation," his father said, his face red with fury. "This black man, this relationship, it cannot continue." Sophia stood tall, heart pounding, tears threatening to fall. "I can't decide who I love," she said firmly. "This is black love. It's real. It's mine and it's his. No one has the right to erase it." Her mother, softer yet equally firm, tried to intervene. "We just want what's safe, Sophia. Think about the consequences. The world is cruel to black men, to those who defy tradition." "I've thought about it," she whispered. "I'm still choosing him." That night, Malik and Sophia met at their secret garden. The air was thick with tension, the threat of violence lingering in the shadows. "Something happened today," Malik said, voice low. "I was attacked on my way home. Words, threats, I barely escaped. They crossed the line, Sophia. This isn't just whispers anymore. It's action."
Sophia's eyes widened. Attacked, Malik? What are we doing? This is dangerous. Malik cupped her face in his hands. I know, but love like ours, black love like ours, doesn't retreat in the face of danger. We stand, together, or not at all. Sophia's hands trembled as she held his. Then, we stand, but what if they hurt us? Malik's eyes burned with determination. Then we fight, with love, with courage, with the truth of who we are. No one can erase us, not because we are black, and not because we love. The couple's defiance ignited a new wave of scrutiny. Social media posts labeled Malik a threat, calling Sophia rebellious for her choice of a black partner. Comments poured in, laced with prejudice and racial hatred. Every step outside their sanctuary was met with cold stares, whispering strangers, and hidden threats. Yet despite it all, the bond between Malik and Sophia only deepened. Every danger, every insult, every act of prejudice became fuel for their courage. Their black love, though controversial, had become a beacon of resistance. One night, as they walked hand in hand through the quiet streets, Malik stopped abruptly. "Do you hear that?" Sophia froze. From the shadows, a group of figures emerged, masked, intent on confrontation. Their steps were deliberate, their voices sharp, their intent clear. "You shouldn't be together," one man hissed. "She doesn't belong with you, black man. Leave her, or you'll regret it." Malik's grip on Sophia tightened. "We belong together. Black love is not a crime. You'll not harm her. Not now, not ever." Sophia's heart raced. Fear threatened to overwhelm her, but Malik's steady presence anchored her. "I'm not afraid," she whispered. "Not while we're together." The men circled them, tension crackling in the air. Malik stepped forward, shielding Sophia with his body. The world had crossed its line, but so had they. The line of giving up, of silence, of submission. Their black love had reached a point where retreat was impossible. In a daring, tense standoff, Malik and Sophia held their ground. Voices rose, threats flared, but their determination never wavered. The attackers eventually retreated, frustrated by the strength of their bond. In that moment, Malik whispered, "This is what it means to fight for black love, Sophia. They'll try everything, prejudice, violence, betrayal. But love, love like ours, it survives, it conquers." Sophia leaned against him, tears streaming, but heart fierce. "Then let them hate, let them fear. Our black love is stronger than their cruelty." The night was quiet again, but the storm was far from over. The lines had been crossed, and neither Malik nor Sophia would ever step back. Their black love had become a defiance, a rebellion, a statement against a world determined to suppress it.
The sun had barely risen over the city, but Sophia Whitmore and Malik Johnson were already awake, their hearts pounding with anticipation and dread. The past days had tested their forbidden black love like never before. Whispers, betrayal, public hate, even violent threats, but the storm was reaching its climax. This was no longer just about love. It was a declaration, a stand, a fight for their right to exist, to love freely, to defy the chains of racism and prejudice. Sophia paced in the quiet of her room, hands trembling, mind racing. Her family had issued ultimatums, friends had turned their backs, and social media had exploded with condemnation. Yet her heart remained steadfast. Malik's presence beside her was a steadying force. He took her hands gently. "No matter what happens today, Sophia, we face it together. Black love is stronger than their hatred, stronger than their fear." Sophia nodded, eyes glistening. "I'm not afraid anymore, not while we're together. Let them talk, let them judge. Our black love is ours, and we will not back down." Their plan was simple yet daring. They would meet publicly, hand in hand, at the city's main square, where the gossip had begun, where society had tried to humiliate them. Malik and Sophia would confront the world with the undeniable truth of their love. As they approached the square, whispers turned to stares, stares turned to murmurs, murmurs turned to shouts. A crowd had gathered, half out of curiosity, half out of outrage, but Malik's gaze remained fixed on Sophia, and Sophia's on him. They had crossed every line, defied every expectation, and now they would claim their right to exist. "Stop!" a man shouted from the crowd. "She's making a mistake. He's black." "Yes, I am black, and yes, we are in love. There is no crime in love. There is no shame in truth. Your hatred will not erase our hearts, our souls, our black love." Sophia stood tall beside him, her voice unwavering. "This is who we are. We will not hide. We will not apologize. Our black love is real, and we will not let fear or prejudice silence it." A tense silence fell over the square. The crowd, uncertain and hesitant, wavered. Some whispered words of admiration, others muttered insults, but the momentum had shifted. Their defiance was stronger than the world's hate. Suddenly, an unexpected ally appeared. Sophia's younger brother Daniel, who had long been skeptical of Malik, stepped forward. "Enough!" he shouted. "You think you can dictate who she loves? You're wrong. Love is love. Black, white, it doesn't matter. They deserve respect, not your judgment." The crowd faltered, the tension breaking. Daniel's support ignited courage in others. Friends who had stayed silent began to murmur in agreement. Even some who had opposed Malik and Sophia reluctantly lowered their voices. Malik took Sophia's hand, looking into her eyes. "See, change is possible. Even in a world built on fear and prejudice, black love can triumph." Sophia's lips trembled, but she smiled. "Together, Malik, always." The days that followed were challenging but transformative. The viral posts now told a different story, a tale of courage, defiance, and unwavering black love. People who had once whispered in contempt now spoke in admiration. Malik's art thrived like never before, his black identity celebrated rather than suppressed. Sophia's family, slowly witnessing the resilience of their love, softened. They began to understand that their daughter's happiness and Malik's dignity could not be dictated by prejudice. Their forbidden black love had become a catalyst for reflection, change, and awareness. One evening, under the same oak tree in their garden that had been witness to every secret, every whispered promise, Malik and Sophia stood, hand in hand, facing the horizon. "We've survived," Sophia said softly, tears glistening in her eyes. "The whispers, the betrayal, the threats, all of it." Malik pulled her close. "Yes, and our black love is stronger for it. Nothing, no hatred, no prejudice, no societal barrier can ever break what we have." They kissed, a tender, defiant act in a world that had tried to deny them happiness. Their love, controversial and challenged, had triumphed, not because the world changed overnight, but because they refused to be broken by it. As the camera pans out, the city stretches before them, a mixture of judgment, prejudice, hope, and change. Malik and Sophia stand together, hand in hand, a symbol of courage and unwavering black love. Some battles remain, some whispers linger, but one truth stands undeniable. Their love, their black love, against the world has survived. And in that survival lies the hope for countless others, to love freely, to fight fiercely, and to rise above the chains of racism.